Thank you, Lindsay. Yeah, first of all, thank you everyone. This is like amazing topic, like sharing from the different personal experience. And yeah, thank you to Harrison, Vivian, and Jufang. And yeah, I agree. Like everyone is a leader, but it's just a matter of like how you can contribute as like a specialist, or distribute your impact to the team for the greater impact. So yeah, I think a lot of people interested in the like other topic, and we got like some questions. So I'm gonna share the screen, and let's get into the Q&A. I'm gonna go for like the most voted question first, which is the first one. I think this one is like, yeah, how do you identify and develop future design leader within your team, and what qualities do you look for? Yeah,
I
sorry.
think I can answer this question.
Shoot. Oh, please go ahead.
Yes, and I think for the how do you identify develop future design leaders with your team? When I'm working in Lenovo, I just have got a culture from our leadership, and I took down the Lenovo HORA, and which the one KPI from my owner. I have IDP, individual design planning, and I put one design NTP in is I need to identify one high potential members from my team, and to help him or help her to be me in when I was disappear. So this kind of culture in the novel, not everyone were working for the novel always on. So if I disappear, and who from my team can immediately take my place, and who from my team will at least 1 year or 2 years later can take my positions. So for today, I need to identify one person from my team to take do my delegation immediately, and I also need to have a one-on-one with her and to make her understand that she's my delegation, and she need to stay aligned with me, and what he need to know what I'm dealing with. Like what's my manager and what's my second manager will have some potential leads from my side, and what's my daily work, like how I to milk the focus for my teams, how I to manage my US bandwidth for my team, and all the information I will sharing to her, and also I will to grab her into my business meetings to make her understanding the business is rapidly changing, but I will make her understanding make her be the position to be my delegation to join the meeting, and some meeting conflict I cannot join, and she will be the leader and to feedback from my side. So I just think I don't know what the future design leaders with her, but I think I will just sharing the information I'm facing. I will share my challenge. I also share my my thoughts for the leaders. Like I want to open mind the culture. I wish for the new onboarding design. I wish not my job to mentor them. It's the whole team's job to mentor for the new joiners. And also want to build some culture. Like we are to celebrate the achievements from my team member. Like the last month or 3 months, and then I will get some of the award. It's kind of activities well to engage our team member together to build our team culture more open mind and more smooth, because we are facing a challenge is we have so many new designers join and to take place from the older designer, and we actually I received a lot of negative feedback from last year because it's kind of dynamic situation, but I will take this on, and I will also identify one potential designer from my team and to make a shift left my challenge to her, and also help her to be grow up for leaders. So I will talk to the individuals, and because the individual quality, he is a principal designer already, and she is much better knowledge and about industry than me, and but he didn't have been a manager before, so I need to focus on his situation to try to lead one group, like 2 or 3 designer, and she will do the manage for them. I also should have some performance write down for her to write the 2 or 3 designer and to do some practice as well. So I think it's kind of I want to share my current situation for you to understanding the design leaders and is being coached and being mentored by your managers. It's not you are not born to be a design leaders. You need to be coached and to be mentored by your seniors as well.
I see. I see. Thank you so much, Yufang. And yeah, Harrison and Vivian, do you want do you have anything to add on or?
Maybe just a small thing. And actually, Dufan, thank you so much. I think you actually give me a lot of like idea how, because I keep hearing actually a lot of my senpai, like the mentor telling me I need to find the next successor. It's really important that you need to find someone who is able to replace you, like if you're gone one day. But I also want to comment. I think because you're asking for like, what's the qualification I'm looking for. I think leadership comes in many different styles, so I cannot really say like there's a trait or quality that I'm looking for. And as I mentioned like earlier, I think a lot of designers, they are not even thinking about it, or they kind of don't really want to do it. So I would think actually the first step is just the willingness, like people who just maybe they're open-minded to try a little bit, and then maybe I start to give in some leadership task, and then to see if this person fits. So I think that's kind of something I've been trying to do within my team.
Yeah, one thing I'd maybe add is, at least for me, I think like as you start getting into more senior designers, right? Like especially like with principal designers, I've got a lot of principal designers that want to stay an individual contributor, and so they can actually become leaders as well. And so I think the conversation shifts from a leadership with a big L to like partnership, right? And so, for example, with my principal designers, I'm asking them to really tap into their superpowers, but they also need to have a better way of being comfortable with like executive leadership, right? They have to be more comfortable with, you know, having sort of like that seat and being able to speak to the vision. So I think that piece is like really important. Like I'm not necessarily going to be asking an IC to switch to management if they want to be a leader, right? I think like there's actually a really great opportunity for strong ICs to be a great role model for other ICs as well, and know that they can achieve that. Obviously, that's going to be different for your company and your organizational makeup. But I will say, like, if you're a manager, advocate for that. Like, if there's not a pathway for an individual contributor at a senior level / leadership role, advocate for that. I think in terms of just like the traits, right, that I generally see that I think is important for anyone moving into a leadership role, and I'm just going to say one. I think it's adaptability. I think adaptability is a really important thing because you're going to make mistakes. It's important that you don't get down on it. And it's also important that we're able to learn from it and have discussions in terms of proactively in terms of like what are some opportunities to improve, right? So I think like that feedback loop is really important, but I think you also need to be open to it as well, because there's a lot to learn. Like the speaker said earlier, there's no school you go to for this. But at the same time, you can't be overly strong-willed and think you have all the answers, and be effective. So I'll contribute that piece. But other than that, there's a lot of really great insight on that question.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it sounds like important about like the openness, willingness, and like adaptability rather than like specific skills and qualities. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the second question. I think this one is like, what is your opinion on AI usage in the design process, and how does that affect the design leadership process?
I can maybe kick this off. So I think I think AI is a really great tool, and I think it's a really exciting time. I don't think we've gone to a definitive conclusion in terms of a ubiquitous way to leverage AI, right? Some people are using it for building concepts. Some people are actually starting to use it as a co-pilot when it comes to building like prototypes. And I think these actual approaches are really important. I'm sure you all have been in a situation where you've designed this really great concept, and then the engineering team is like, we don't think that's possible. I actually think like being able to spin something up in a vibe coding tool is actually really powerful and has given design like a lot of leverage. And so I would encourage you all to do that, especially if you're getting a lot of pushback on something that you believe is actually going to benefit your users. I think like on the leadership process, personally, anecdotally, I think leadership is playing an important role in terms of advocating for bringing in AI into the process. I think a lot of leaders are trying to understand from a process perspective how it might streamline things. I think in terms of building tools that leverage AI, I think there's a lot of that playbook that's actually being created right now. And I think that's where a lot of the focus is. However, I want to make sure that like from a leadership perspective, we don't get too lost on the artifacts that it creates, because our impact is so much more greater than that. And I think like strong design leadership is going to play a really pivotal role in terms of shaping like pretty much norms in terms of how organizations are thinking about that. What I mean by that is like trust, right? We want to make sure that customers understand what they're using. We want to make sure that it's not complicating the experience. We want to make sure it's not giving them incorrect data. And so those conversations actually start to become a lot deeper in terms of understanding what is our engineering team building with? What are the models we have building with? Is it something that's sustainable? If we're working on large enterprises, right? Like, are we thinking about this from a systems level? I think there's a lot more deeper discussion than what we may be seeing on the headlines on LinkedIn.
Thank you.
Yeah, do you want to take something? Yeah, because my answer is quite simple. Just use it. I will encourage our designer to use AI to do the prototype, and we encourage them to use more and more, and I will just encourage them to do it. And for the process, I think we also host some ceremonies. Use the Figma AI to the clickable prototype, just sharing to the whole team. You can just use it. And for the AI tuning, and we spend a lot of energy to the desk research, and we have to do it, but its quality is needed to maintain, because some standards answer is not, it's quite not high level, but it's kind of normal. Like if you want to do something desk research, and AI can help you do it quickly, more than productivity than yourself do it. So just use it. Don't follow with the trend, just my suggestions. If something go on, and make you understanding the best way to face it, and join it, and play with it, and this is the best way to overcome all the question about it. Just so my answer is very quite simple. And from AI tunings, it will help you from a doer to a director. Then no matter the leadership, you need to be a leadership by your own, and because the AI do the most doer things, and you need to practice your thinking about being a director, being a leaders as well.
Okay, thank you so much. I think next one is specifically for Vivian. What is your tool and process to report the success of your team? And also, oh yeah, the same one. Okay, I think this one.
So yeah, so for, I guess, tools or process, there's not really a set of tools or process, but I guess what I try to do is to other people aware of like what this team's doing, and then what the great works team doing. Well, first it's definitely to my manager, because he needs to be the best advocate for this team as well, other than me. So we have one-on-one every week, and obviously we talk about different topics, but every once in a while I will share within the highlights of team, like who did well and what project did well and what they've been saying. And then usually I make like slides. So whenever I need to present something, even just like one-on-one setting, I make slides. So I think he can use those slides with others, or even like someone who is like more higher manager. So it's something that can be transferable, and then it's very easy to pass on. And so that's one thing I do with my manager. And the other thing I encourage actually my member to do is our company have this town halls, which like I think we have town hall within our department and town hall within the company. So I do encourage my member to really showcase their work, because there are some times like for different teams to present their work. And then I think it's really important for especially for teams never really heard of UX team, or they don't know what we're doing. It's really important to showcase that we're actually doing a great work. And other than that, the other thing is actually I tell all my members, like I will try my best to promote and communicate to others their good work. But I also think it is their own personal responsibility, not just do great design, but also try to be seen. So it is also for them to really, try to find opportunity to really showcase their work, to communicate not just within the team, to communicate with people outside the team, so people know what they're doing. And then I think it's also contribute to for other people to know the success for the team. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay. For the next one, I think it's like how to transition from executing tasks to shaping vision and culture in the organization.
Can take this one. So I think one of the things, at least for my organization, so I led 4 different pillars in our organization, and so that meant that there was 4 different leadership groups, which meant that those leaders were only really cared about their specific area. One of the most effective things that we were able to do was to actually make every single organization really kind of come up with a vision narrative, right? And that is just like a story around really like our most high impact experiences. And really what this allowed things to happen, it allowed different teams to understand where there were potential dependencies and opportunities to actually collaborate. It also was kind of like a pulse check, right? It really kind of allowed people to understand if they were actually all solving for the right thing, and if this was something that was clearly aligned with them. And so I think the moment you can get everyone to sort of understand what that narrative and that ultimate story arc is for the product that you're trying to drive, it actually creates a lot of clarity, and it allows you to have discussions that are now really kind of focused on really the main task at hand. So I would actually encourage you to have like that narrative developed, kind of like as Vivian kind of spoke to. Imagine your manager having this narrative and being able to speak to leadership, right? So now the team is speaking the same language, your boss is speaking the same language, and now the executive teams are speaking the same language. So when you show up, guess what? You don't have to reframe that anymore. And that's a really, really powerful approach to things.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's all like a work of like psychology and building rapport in the team, and push the team to like be seen. Yeah, thank you. Think the next one is like, what is your suggestion when dealing with manager or project owner who don't have a UI/UX background that can lead to a bad decision making?
Okay, I'll take this one. And I know Marta, people face this kind of situation, and in this team, that my suggestion for number 1 is leave it, and don't make your situation in here. But if you unfortunately you can't leave it, and this is my suggestions. And the first one is slow down your design process, because they cannot follow your process, and like you're just dealing with your US background managers. And some common sense you try to explaining for them, it's hard for them to take it. So slow down your design process and slow down your design presentation and content from them, and just slow down it. Second is, if your manager is a product owner, I think it's good, because product owner can help you understanding the business size, you learn from them, and you just follow the direction to do the design decision by yourself. This is good for you to practice your decision makers. And if your product manager is from different background, like marketing or some, I don't know, which kind of background, which don't understand the design, you need to be a teacher. So learning your books, take your books back to your class, and you can learn why I do this color or typography, and what's the design, and it's find out the problem, solve the problem. It's basic information you need to learn again and to enabling your manager. So that's the thing you can do if you can't leave this situation in your career path.
Thank you so much. I think we only have 2 minutes. Maybe we can go for one more question. Let me see. Maybe we can go for this one. Like, what is the best practice to influence design decision when you don't have direct authority over the people or process involved?
Vivian, do you want to take this on?
Yes.
I will add on something after.
Yes, I think kind of go back to like what we've been all talking about. I think first, like you need to be seen, because especially with like big organization, like probably for me, my team is so small. I'm so small, but then like we want to make sure that we voice really loud, like really try to find opportunities externally, internally, like how can we be seen, and then also I think again, especially if you have people who are in authority that really don't know much about UX, or you're in a company that is more in the low UX maturity, then I think it's gonna be a long process. Knowing it is okay, you're not gonna get the best. They're not gonna change their mind like over time, and then having patience, just try something little by little. Don't think about something big. Probably something I think similar to the question asked about like how to influence the product owners if they don't really know about UX. I think if you bring like a super new idea or big ideas, it's really easy to get rejected. But if you just try something small, and then really think about like on their point of view, it's not like, okay, I'm a designer and this is what I say is the most correct things. Like you need to listen to me because I'm a professional. Maybe really try to listen to from their side. What are their goals, and then like from the product owner or as a organization, what's our goals, and then how can we use it to influence. So convince them in a way that they know it's beneficial for them. And then again, just try to be seen. I think it's really important. And then the other thing, I also feel like building relationships is important, especially in Japan. I think maybe other Japan designer can also feel the same. Like a lot of those decisions or the influence is not done within the company or within like the meeting. It's about those small talks, or after like nomikai, things like that. You try to build those kind of relationship, and then basically just have them to understand you, but also understand them better as well. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Vivian. Yeah, I agree. Like sometimes need to be seen, and like those soft skills make you like earn trust first. It's like a first step into, other thing will come later. But yeah, thank you so much. These are like an amazing answer and really insightful. I will hand over to Lindsay. Maybe we can have a closing because we passed the time already a bit. Yeah.
Harrison, Vivian, and Zhifan to sharing such a great insights today. I guess all of us have our own answer about the to be or not to be. Even we're not going through the design manager role, we still can apply some design leadership skills to the IC role. For me, I think I probably just stay with IC forever. But I will try to apply more design leadership in my own daily job. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And thank you both for handling this great Q&A session. And we will see you next time. We will have our offline event on October 26th about exhibition, but with the vibe coding production. Thank you so much, and see you in October. Bye.
Thank you so much.